Hi everyone, it's Rob Clark from Learning Architects here. This is our first members hangout. Our members area is a part of our website which people can subscribe to, and they get an annual subscription where they can solve problems and get unlimited support, and it includes a whole range of things like online courses, curated resources and templates for schools and organisations. So if you're interested with that, you can go to learningarchitects.com/join, and that will give you more information. Now, today's hangout is aimed at two things. So we're going to be looking at team drives, and but we're also going to be looking at how to set up filters and what are the five most frequent filters that people need to set up. Okay, so but before we get into that, I'm just going to get Anna and John to introduce themselves. So off you go, Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna Powery from Everglades School. I'm the assistant principal here and been part of the Learning on Architects online learning community since the beginning of this year. And it's proved really useful so far.
Cool, thank you. John.
Hi, I'm John. I'm principal at the same school, Everglades School, Auckland's premier primary school, self-declared. And I've been involved in the online learning community now for longer than Anna. And one of the things that drives me is keeping a bit ahead of her. Not sure I'm succeeding, but that's the driver.
Nice. Okay, so now team drives. How about we have a look at one of your team drives? So, John, do you want to share your screen?
Yep.
And while John does that, Anna, do you want to explain what you think team drives are? What is team drives?
So as opposed to operating in your own drive where it's your personal area per se, the team drive means that everything's stored in there. Everybody within that team that has access to the drive, no one owns a document per se, it's owned by the team or by the organisation, and that one organisation such as our school can have numerous team drives operating, but different people will have access to different ones depending on what their role is. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to flick over to your screen, John. Do you want to minimise that hangout window?
Yep.
And go into your Google Drive and let's have a look. So now, just to give everyone a bit of context, Everglade has just moved from a Windows environment to a Google environment last year.
Yep.
Yeah, late last year.
So where Everglade School is different from many other schools that have been using Google for a longer period of time is that they've started from scratch using team drive. So they're starting with all the best practices that we've learned over the last few years in terms of how they organize it, how people interact with different parts of team drive. So you can see here in John's team drives that there are 9 different separate team drives, and you can see on the right there's a list of members, and what you can do with
Oh, lost your voice,
down.
Rob.
Sorry, back now.
Yep.
What you can do with your team drives is that you can specify who can do what inside this shared Google folder. And it's different from a regular Google Drive shared folder. Okay, and we'll look at what some of those differences are in a mo. So, John, do you want to pick one that we can look through?
Yep.
And perhaps hide that dialogue in the middle that says Google Hangouts is sharing your screen.
Yep, don't need to see that. Okay, well, if we go to the one that the greatest number of staff can access, staff admin.
Yep.
That's basically where all the various sort of staff and school organisation documents sit that pretty much anyone can access. We still have to, I guess, deal with questions about levels of access. Not sure we've got that right, but then, you've also got to have a trust environment in schools anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one of the things that's different from team drives from a regular Google folder is that with a team drive, you're adding people to have access to it. And when they drop a file into this team drive, it changes the ownership to become owned by the school or the organization that has the Google account. So in this case, if I dropped a file into there, it would transfer that ownership from my Learning Architects account to everglade.school.nz in this case. Okay, so that, and the reason that Team Drives was created by Google is to overcome the issue when somebody leaves an organization, got a whole bunch of really useful documents. What happens to those documents if their account gets deleted?
Yeah.
Now, you can migrate people's data from one account to another when you delete them. However, it's not selective. So it might.
So you get everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's really not a very smart way to go, because it might be that somebody leaves an organization that has got a whole bunch of personal files inside their Google Drive.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put those into someone else's Google Drive.
Not really.
Or it might be that there are files that are copyright that that person has access to. So, for example, let's say a consultant shared a unique template with a staff member, then the staff member leaves.
Yeah.
And if their data gets migrated to another person, then that school's violating copyright.
Yeah.
So it's not just as simple as, oh, we can transfer the files. There's a few more grey areas now.
Yes, definitely.
So Team Drives overcomes that issue. Okay. Now, you can see here that at the top, if you click on My Drive on the left.
Yep.
So this is the regular Google Drive folder.
Yep.
Okay. And so any of these folders can be shared with anyone as you like. However, people can drag and drop files in or out of those folders.
Yep.
That is another issue that can occur inside a shared cloud-based environment such as Google. Okay.
Right.
So go back to your Team Drives and go into the staff admin again.
Yep.
Now, one of the things that you can do with Team Drives that you can't do as easily with a regular Google folder is that you can control who can do what inside this environment to a slightly higher degree. So if you were to click on the drop down where it says Everglade Staff Admin, just underneath the search.
Yep. There we go.
In here, you can see there is a number of options. So one is to add new members.
Yep.
Then there's a manage members option, and that's when you can change people's levels of access.
Right.
You can send an email to every member.
Okay.
Now, that is useful if, say, for example, let's say you've got an important document that has just been uploaded into there or has been changed and you want to notify everyone.
Yep. Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But that will notify all 39 people. Now, if you went and clicked on email members, let's just see what that does.
Right, and it just gives you one by one.
Yep, so you can be selective, so you can get rid of some of those people, so you don't have to email all of them.
Yeah, well, that one doesn't work here anymore, so get rid of that.
Click cancel, and let's hop out of there. So that's sending them a email notification from the top level of this environment, I guess.
Yep.
Go back to the drop down again. Now, you can obviously change the theme. So if you click on hover over change theme, you can pick from the gallery. But you can also create your own branded banner that goes across the top as well.
Okay.
And there's a particular size that people need. I'm going to make a note to put that into the notes for you. So the banner size would be useful for people. And what I will do for members is produce a template image that's the right size already so that they can resize an image and just plonk it over the top.
Into that,
Yeah. Now, let's go into manage members this time. So in here, you can see that all of these people that we're looking at now have got what's known as full access. So if we looked at Alana, for example, the first person on the list, and clicked on full next to her name, Team Drives has got 4 levels of access, whereas a regular Google folder has only got 3. Okay, so full access is for the people that you want to manage this team drive.
Right.
Now, I'm recommending to my clients when they're rolling out team drives to give only a few people full access.
Okay.
Because if you give everyone full access and people don't understand that when they drag a file out, it disconnects it from everyone else,
right,
then you're going to get problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next level down, edit access, if you hover over that, this is where somebody can just upload a file or edit any file.
Yep.
And obviously comment and view access is similar to the same as
okay,
regular Google documents. Okay.
So the full access, so you would say full for a small number, edit for most of the rest.
Yeah, and it might be like there will be instances, particularly in schools, where you want to have a tighter level of control. So, for example, it might be that you have a board team drive for published minutes that have been ratified, and that has view access to everyone except the minutes secretary and the principal and the board chair, for example. So it's worth going down your list and just making sure that only the staff that you know understand how to manage this environment have got full access. And I'd suggest everyone else has edit access.
Okay.
And then that way life will be a wee bit more sustainable because people won't inadvertently.
And we would apply that across all the team drives.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good little task to do.
Yeah. So that would be a follow-up for you guys, I'd suggest.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering what I did to Elena there. She's disappeared.
Did you delete her?
Oh, that's all right. She'll work it out.
Now, she will have gone down to the very bottom.
Yes.
Because it's sorting it by level of access, I believe.
So she's probably gone to edit.
I think you changed her to edit.
There she's hiding.
Yeah.
Well, she's actually capable of being full, but I think some of the others definitely need to.
Yeah, you really want to make sure you don't want to give that many people full access.
No. Just
because
we'll work through that, Anna.
Somebody's stressed or rushing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it creates issues for others. Now, I noticed something before. I'm going to hover on this one. Now, this person has left.
So remove.
I can click remove member, and they're a gone burger.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Done.
Cool.
Okay. They no longer exist. All good?
Right. So click done.
Done. And that'll now actually drop the membership, won't it, to
38.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
So if you go back to
the Google screen, Google Hangout screen.
Google Hangout screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into my Google Drive.
Yep. Right, here I am here. Yep.
Right. Now, I'm going to go into my team drives.
Yep.
And let's have a look at some of these team drives. So you can see here that some of these have been branded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one there, the cluster leadership shared file.
Yep. That's the one I want. Yep. That's better.
So that's the Royston Learning Community.
Yep.
This one is the CPPA, Canterbury Primary Principals. Then you can see there's the Everglade ones.
Some really cool ones there,
Yeah. Then there's some other ones. That's another school in Auckland, Huapai District.
Oh, yeah. Oh, with
another John.
The guy who was at Gulf Harbour, Yep.
John.
So he's brought you across to there.
Yep.
So to speak,
Then there are other ones. So, for example, this one here is a Cole that I've helped move, help them design and implement their comms and engagement strategy.
Yeah.
So that's Kahuiako or Wakatipu.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's others.
That's that Christian school you were working with late last year on that PLD.
Yeah. So these ones here are that's Tasman Bay Christian School. And then Angela, my wife, is on the PTA at St. Albans.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Now, each of these environments has been set up so that you'll notice the file naming protocol.
Yeah.
Which will be familiar to you guys because you've implemented it from scratch.
Yep.
and that's important to do and to monitor as people start to use it. So one of the things that I'm going to be suggesting in an upcoming course is, and I'll just stop sharing my screen for a moment, is that it's not necessarily a good idea just to turn your team drives on. Because what can happen there is you can create the same mess in the new system. So my recommendation before going to team drives and before turning them on and enabling them is to implement a file and folder naming protocol. And the other thing for schools that are have been using Google for a while that they need to consider, which isn't so much of a problem for Everglade in your case, is that the schools that have are migrating to team drives will need to consider how they get their people to put the important files in the right place in their team drives once they've set up that folder. So I would recommend, and I'll be elaborating on this in this upcoming course. I would recommend that schools get their staff together and they say, right, well, you know, sports coordinator, whoever you are, you need to rename your files properly and put them into this place. Set learning support person, same thing, and so on. And it might be the case for you guys as well, although you've started from scratch. So it's more likely with, in your example, that it's set up all ready to go anyway, and people are just using it.
It'll be interesting because what we've begun with the old Microsoft network, we had the folder called Office, and that correlates largely to the team drive Office. So I've got the 3 Office staff, Hansa, Rachel, and Raywin. They've all taken specific folders and they're going to convert. So when we meet next week, we're going to be saying, all right, so we've done that much. Now let's look at the naming protocol, because they'll come across as any old thing. And so that'll be a key, and we'll get that. And we've given ourselves till the end of next year to bring everything across before we cut the cord on Microsoft. That people say you give it a couple of years, and
I think that's wise. Now, the other thing to be mindful of for people that are watching this either after the fact and they're thinking about turning team drives on, is that when you turn your team drives on, you can enable it so that only staff can create team drives. Because one of the things that may happen if you turn it on and you haven't thought it through carefully is that you'll get children and teachers and maybe support staff all creating their own team drives. And my recommendation is to set it up at a leadership level.
So this is how the CIA one was created, John.
That came through very quickly because someone who's fairly digital thought, oh, great, and they set one up. Now it works, but we don't want that to be an ongoing thing.
Or that every single person does it.
Got to be basically a conduit that it goes through.
So it's really a case of actually, John, do you want to go into your team drives again? Let's just have a look at that, because it relates to part of a discussion I was having yesterday with the Canterbury principals around their system.
Out of that one too.
Go back into your drive area.
There we go.
And then click on your team drives. One of the things that you will find when you enable it is people will start to say, well, I can make a team drive for this project that I'm working on. Like, it might be sport, or it might be
production, whatever.
It's quite important that you consider that from a sort of strategic point of view, because if you've got lots of team drives flying around all over the place, it can make it difficult to manage. And I'm kind of a fan of simplicity.
I wish I was.
And in bigger environments, you're obviously going to need more. More team drives, but the fewer that you have, the better, in my view. Because there's one less place for people to go to. And the other way to think of your team drive is think of it as a project. So, for example, you might have a team drive in a school that is for private administration, staff administration.
Yeah.
And that, for example, could hold things like HR type information in it.
Mm. Well, an example here, if you look at the third one down, probably there it tends to have more
sensitive type
information from time to time.
Yeah.
And so you see the numbers that link to that. And again, that one's a bit different. That's a minor one. But this is another one here. We don't want anybody and their dog just going in and, oh, I'll grab that document and I'll do this and that, because those are school admin documents as opposed to these ones here, which are staff admin, rather than school admin, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So that's a bit of an overview of team drives now. For people that are, for more advanced users that are using things like add-ons on their forms, their sheets, and their documents, some add-ons don't yet work in team drives. And so, for example, I commonly use an add-on for mail merge called Autocrat, or another one called Form Mule. And those add-ons don't work inside Team Drive.
Right.
And that, at the moment, but I would expect that will change in the future.
Mm. And similarly, tell me I'm right, if I think you said this, Anna, so if I share a document out to people from Team Drive and someone says, yep, I really need this, I'll move this from shared with me into my drive. It doesn't work out.
You can't. So what I remember I showed you last time, Rob, when you get shared something from someone's personal drive, you can go to File, Add to my own drive, so that you can find it easily and store it where you like. But if it's sent out from a team drive or created in a team drive, that option disappears because it's owned by the team. You can't move it to your drive without moving it completely.
Yeah. So I guess the learning there is to make sure you've got the right people connected to the team drive, and that you've considered what that team drive is used for and what it's not used for.
Yeah, we've just figured little things you figure out along the way.
Now, there's nothing stopping you, though, for example, going into your team drive and going into a file that's inside that team drive and sharing it with an outside party that is not connected to that team drive. So you can still do that. So, for example, it might be that in that CIA folder or in the board shared files, you might want to share a file with me. You still can.
Okay.
So if you didn't want me to have access to that board shared files team drive with all the other stuff in it, but you did want me to have access to one separate file in there, you can do that.
Okay.
You cannot share a folder inside the team drive. We should check. Why don't we check to see if that works? Can you go into the board shared files? And then click on reference material. And now if you click on the drop down at the top where it says ESBOT reference materials.
Blah, blah,
No, the share's gone. Share function's grayed out.
See how that's not available? But you could share one of those individual files to me, for example.
So if I go to that one, then it'll blow up in the circle.
One that I'll need anyway for the PLD work that we're going to be doing.
So I'll let me share it with you now.
That will come through. Right, so type in my email address, do the share. Decide what level of access you want me to have.
Probably view, is it?
Whatever.
Because otherwise the board has to approve every change to that. Okay. And then
notice how the share dialog is a different color here.
It is.
So a regular Google folder is so if you click send, that'll just send as per normal. A regular Google folder will give you a blue. Now see what it's saying here? This is stuff no one ever reads.
I've had that sending things to RTLBs and stuff.
So click continue and that sends that to me. Now Now, the other thing that you'll notice inside this document, so go into the share dialog again.
Yeah.
And where it says who has access, click on it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Now, this is something that's interesting. You can see here that the Everglade board shared files have got 10 members.
Yeah.
And you've shared it with Leslie, right? And you've shared it with me.
Yeah.
The top one, link sharing.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
So click on that and let's explore that.
Click on the down arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So at the moment, it's saying people at Everglade School with the link can access this.
Yeah.
And see the wee slider that says link sharing?
Yeah, turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
So that's on. If you slid that over and turn it off, because that means that children and everyone can see it, which is probably not a bad thing, really. I mean, it's your number one policy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what you can do with link sharing is you can share documents with non-Google people or link them up with your website or, click on that down arrow again next to link sharing.
Yeah.
Click on it one more time to expand it. If you turn it back on, just for temporarily.
Yep.
And it says people at Everglade School with the link to you.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. So you get a whole bunch of options if you click on that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
those three again: edit, comment, view. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got quite a bit of flexibility in terms of how you can share stuff. And the other thing is, see, it says findable in search results.
Yeah.
And allow external access. So if you were publishing this to the web, you'd tick that top checkbox there.
Okay.
So I published something to the web yesterday with the Canterbury Principals. They have their PLD program for the year for Canterbury region.
Yep.
So they've got a document like this, and they're making it publicly published on the internet, and they have to click allow external access, and then copy the link and link that link up to their website.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So you know how Raywin's been converting the newsletter to PDF to send it out, John? This is another way of doing it, is put the link share on our website and avoid that.
Okay.
You could do it that way. Yep. Yeah, so you might as well, depending on if you want link sharing on or not, you might as well turn it off, I guess, if you want it off.
Yep. Okay, so there's that. Go where I'm telling.
Click on it to the left of it. There you go, and then click done.
Okay, and we're done.
See, it says link sharing's off.
Cool.
So that's a bit of an overview of team drives. Do you want to stop sharing your screen?
Yeah.
And what we'll do is I'm going to do a little bit on where we're going to next. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen now.
Yep.
So can you see my screen?
Yep.
It's got you. Yep. Now it's got you. Yep, there it is.
So inside the members community, inside the forum for taming and training your email.
Yeah.
Is a forum post called the 5 types of email filters to automate your inbox.
Excuse me. Yep.
Now that forum post has got this animation that I've made.
Yep.
Which shows us the first kind of email filter to create.
Right.
And it's also got a link to a Google document, which is here, which has got the 5 most common types of email filter. So the first one is filtering for an individual person or email address.
Yep.
The second one, and I'll make it a bit cleaner to look at. The second one is filtering for anyone from a particular organization.
Yep.
Then the next one would be filtering a group of individual emails. So your PTA, your board of trustees.
Yep.
Or it could be a group of colleagues, perhaps, that you have a PLG with.
And that's a group that you've already set up and designated as a named group.
No.
No. It's filtering a group of individual people.
Okay.
So like, for example, my PLG group, I don't have them set up as a group. So this would then filter anything that came through from that group.
Oh, so you take the first person, then you put an or dash, and then you put the second person. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that little dash is actually meant to be a space.
Yep. Oh, right. Okay.
I should probably make that a little bit more obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
So that it's, really obvious.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Hopefully that makes it a bit more clear.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of flexibility there, and then the next sort of most frequent one is, for example, your person that deals with invoices, for example, might want to do a filter that looks for everything that comes in with an attachment, and someone in the email is the word invoice.
Yep.
So Nova Pay Forms is a good example of that.
Yeah.
And they're the last two, really. Okay. So now this is going to be covered comprehensively in the third email course that I'm producing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've done the second one and I don't remember seeing this stuff.
No, this is additional to that. So you're getting a bit of a taste.
So when you say filter it, where does it go? Where does it put it?
You're about to find out.
Yeah, stop jumping the gun, Anna.
Now, I can see that Emma's online at the moment. We should see if she can come into this Hangout. I wonder if she's available. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... now, have either of you set up any filters yet?
I don't think I have.
No, I don't think I have either.
Rightio. Well, why don't we start off with John?
Yep.
And Anna, you can follow along on the at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good progression. Yeah, you follow, Anna.
I'm going to switch to either of you at different times, okay?
All right.
So, John, if you could share your screen for us, please.
Yep. Oh, there I am. There I am. Rightio. And now, okay. And the screen, you want me to go to my mail?
And what I want you to do is I want you to find the person that emails you the most.
Well, Wendy would be one of them. So there she is there. Yep, there's Wendy.
Cool. Okay. So tick next to Wendy. Now this is actually going to a email group because it's got
executive
team.
So see that one further below that says from Wendy.
Oh, yeah, just a single, yeah. That.
Yep. And just click the hide the sharing dialog in the middle at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Right. Now, if you go to more.
Yeah.
And Emma, I think, is going to be joining us.
That Emma Hanare?
No, it's a different Emma.
Oh.
Yeah. So now, if you go to filter messages like these.
Yep. Ah. Right. Okay.
Right. Now, it's this is where it hasn't worked as we would like. G'day, Emma. How are you? Let's say hi to Emma first. She's just joined us.
Hi, Emma.
Hi.
How are you?
You're very silent.
I don't know if she can hear us or not.
She's very shy.
That's okay. We'll keep trucking along.
Yep.
Now, you can see that this is coming from an email list. Now, normally what you would do to select a person's email is you'd tick next to their name, then you'd go to more and filter messages like these.
Yep.
I'll just quickly send you an email, John, now so that you can use that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it will be clean.
Okay. Cool. So I'll go back to, what am I doing in drafts? All right. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Someone's
I've just sent you one.
Okay. There you are.
Oh.
That's deep and meaningful. Do I have to open it first before I tick? Doesn't matter.
No, don't open it. So what I want you to do is tick next to Anna.
Yeah.
Go to more. Filter messages like these. And you'll notice it's picked up your email.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the difference from the other one. Your school's been set up so that all your mailing lists are working properly. So many of your messages will be going through mailing lists.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So always check who the message is coming from when you're filtering. Okay.
Yep.
So what this will do is it will automatically file messages from Anna from now on.
Right.
Automatically file them where?
It depends on what he labels you as.
Depends, yeah, how many of my emails he wants to ignore.
Can we not share screens anymore?
Okay, so click create a filter.
Yep, create a filter with this search, yep.
And the first thing that I always get people to do is apply the label.
Yeah.
So this is what some people may think of as a folder, and it's not a folder.
Yeah.
It's more like sticking a post-it note on a message.
Right.
Because you can put multiple labels on one message.
Yeah.
So click choose label. Now, this is fairly typical. You've got a whole bunch of existing labels, which were folders in your old Outlook system.
Yeah.
Because you made the decision to migrate.
Along with the 9,000 drafts that I deleted for him yesterday.
Yeah. Now, because you made the decision to migrate your mail, it's also brought in that hierarchy of
thousands and thousands,
and imported them as labels, right?
Yeah.
So if you have one for the leadership, the executive team, or you might have a special one for Anna, you would put that in there.
No, I didn't see exec there.
I'm not seeing a special one for you, Anna. Sorry.
No.
So why don't you make one for executive team?
Okay. Well, new label. Yeah. Actually, I thought I did have one.
Right, Anna, do you want to find somebody in your inbox as well?
Yep.
Now, I've just heard from Emma.
Yep.
She doesn't have a mic.
Oh, there you go.
Does she know sign language?
Yeah, yeah.
You could share her screen and Okay, I thought I had. Oh no, there it is there. Okay.
Yep, okay, so I've got one.
All right. Yep.
Cool. Okay. Now the next, so that's your filing system that you've just done there.
Yep.
Generally speaking, anyone that you're wanting to file, you don't want to send them to spam, do you?
No.
Generally not.
So click never send to spam, three down.
Yep.
Always, they're probably usually going to be important. So mark them as important.
There you go, Anna. Your status has risen.
Oh, to what? What was that? I missed
You're
that.
important.
Oh.
And
only while the seminar's going on.
The last step is taking that last checkbox that says also apply to matching conversations.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And that would be matching conversations back and forwards.
So that scans through all of your email that Anna's ever sent you, and also labels it and classifies it and files it effectively. Okay. So what this is going to do, it's going to take any time Anna emails you, it's going to label that message with exec team.
Yeah.
Never going to go to spam. It's always going to be marked as important.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. So all it's doing is it's like sticking a post-it note on your message.
Yep.
All right. Now, before we go any further, let's get Emma to introduce herself.
G'day. I'm Emma. I'm the EO of Rickerton Primary School.
Good to have you with us.
Hi, Emma. How you going?
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't join earlier, but my day's been manic.
Well, this has got to be better than doing payroll stuff, hey?
Yeah, well, that is next week.
Hey, Emma, have you got you'll have your email filters set up, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now, where are you, John? Okay, I think you might have clicked somewhere. So go back to more.
Yeah, yep, there's more. Yep.
Yep.
And
correct.
Don't mute me. I see that mute option.
Yep, and then click
Can't
create.
hear you, Anna, sorry.
Now, at this point here, John, and if you click outside of this, you lose this dialogue, which I think has happened. Okay, so click create filter.
Create. Oh, okay.
And it will reload your inbox. And can you see that Anna's has got that little label beside it?
Okay, cool.
The other thing that you can do is if you hover over on the left-hand side in your label list, you'll see one called Exec Team.
Yes.
So if you click on the down arrow next to that, you can give it a color.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So this is different than basically this takes away having to take, because what I do is take the email and drag and drop it into the right label. So this takes that step away. That's what he's saying.
So if you think about how many email messages you get over a whole year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So let's imagine John's just replied to this message. So John, if you open the message up, now rather than just filing it manually, just literally click that little
does it for you.
Two labels at the top.
Yeah.
Click the X next to inbox, and that will archive it.
Oh, all right. Oh.
Or you can. There's a keyboard shortcut for it as well.
Okay. So click the X. Okay.
Don't you hit E?
So.
Yeah. Yeah. You've gone now. Here we are in Exec Team.
So now click on Exec Team, and you'll see Anna will be in there.
There you are at the top. Yep.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay. Now that's the first type of filter. Anna, do you want to share your screen? And John, you stop sharing yours.
Yep. No problem.
And then let's look at the next kind.
Okay.
Ah.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm done with screen sharing. No, I'm still screen sharing.
Hey, I'll share mine.
Sharing a screen. Have you guys set up your team drives at Rickerton yet?
We
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
You've just turned them on, eh?
Yeah.
Cool, because we had a little bit of discussion about that before this bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was the consensus?
Hang on. What's going on? Do you need to?
Oh, so Anna, if you minimize the Hangout window now. Yeah, so basically, before turning them on, I always recommend implementing your file naming protocol.
Yeah.
And I also recommend schools don't just turn them on and say that's turned on.
Yeah.
I recommend you turn them on only for staff because you're going to get children creating them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that it's done at a leadership level so that it's a defined hierarchy of where things go.
Yeah.
So
when you go into Team Drive, though, there's not a lot of options in the admin console for it. It's either, from what I can see, it's either on or off.
If your Google system's set up using organizational units correctly,
you
have the ability to be a bit more granular as to who can turn them on and who can activate, who can create them and who can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's to do with the organizational units.
I don't think ours has been set up at that level correctly.
Okay. Well, maybe after this meeting,
we're like most schools. We've just gone, boom, let's just do it.
Yeah, it's fairly typical. You're normal.
Yeah, like I'm trying with the naming protocols, and it's they're slowly coming around.
Yeah, the thing with that is that it's really got to be done as a group thing.
Yeah.
So you've got to have that commitment of your leadership.
Yes.
And they really need to start doing it first, and then they need to follow through on it.
Mm.
It's actually it's about breaking old habits.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes that approach, though, you get more resistance when if you just, so we in the office use the naming protocols and people going, oh, I like that. What are you doing?
Yep.
We're doing more of the ripple effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John, I see that Anna might have disappeared.
It's not impossible.
Okay. Shall we look at the second type of email filter?
Yep.
Okay. So, can I get you to share your screen again?
Yep.
Have you got email filters set up for, say, your board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got email filters set up for everything. And because I actually have two email addresses, one is the office at Rickerton, and that's our junk email. but I have set up automatic forwarding to different people based on the subject.
Great.
Helps my, you know, like that, because that email address gets hundreds of emails. And if I don't have to, you know, manually forward it, I limit what I have to do with that email address as much as I can.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's flip back to you, John. And if you could...
Anna's here.
I just came down the hall.
So minimise the Hangout, and then let's have a look at your email again, John.
Okay. So minimise the Hangout right about there.
That's it.
Email there.
Okay.
So I've got Anna here at the moment. She got kicked off.
Yeah, rightio. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into, so that label that you've just created for the executive team, it's for more than just one person.
Yes.
So if you go to your settings cog on the top right hand corner underneath the J.
Yep.
Go to your settings.
Yep.
And then from in here, click on filters and blocked addresses. So for everyone that's watching this, when you make a mess up with your filters, this is where you go to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to edit a filter.
Yeah.
See that John's got one filter.
Yeah.
And we're going to edit it so that it includes not just Anna, but it also includes Wendy and Judith.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So
I got to click the little box.
Edit button.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Won't be long.
Right. Hey, Emma, do you remember what he needs to put in? John needs to put in here.
I can't see his screen.
Oh, can't you?
Hang on. Oh yeah. Yeah. So. Oh. Hang on. Let me just. How do I zoom the size on a?
Oh, okay. So it might be a bit tricky actually. So what you need to put in here, John, is type space.
Yep.
And then type. I usually type this in capitals so it stands out. Capital OR for or.
Yep.
And then another space.
Yeah.
And then put Wendy C for Wendy's email address.
Yep.
c@everglade.school.nz. So if you complete that for each person that you wish to automatically file when their email arrives in your inbox. That's it. And you're basically going to go through the same steps as before.
Right.
This time it's looking for 3 different specific email addresses rather than one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this other examples of where this might be useful could be, what would be some other examples, Emma?
Board stuff.
Is this, board stuff.
Let
me just
PTA?
Correct.
Our PTA's dissolved, so
right.
it's irrelevant.
It could be if you've got a working party on a particular aspect, like maybe you've got a, I don't know, maybe you've got a team that's working on inclusive practices or cultural inclusiveness or I don't know, whatever. So you can set it up as however you like. Right, click continue. You'll notice on this next list, this is the options that, so the first checkbox that's ticked is your filing system.
Yeah.
And everything else is the same, except the checkbox at the very bottom that says apply the filter to matching content.
Right.
So tick that. And then click update. Right. Now, if you go back to if you click on exec team on the left there, on your label list, you will see that it's more than just, it's everybody in the exec team.
Got thousands. Anything that includes an exec person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there's quite a few things you can do with this. So you can, for example, you'll notice that when Anna emails you at the moment, so go back to your inbox. That message, hi, is in your inbox as well as in the exec team.
Okay.
So if you click the archive button just above at the top left there.
Yeah.
Yep. That will get rid of it.
Okay.
Now, where is that message now?
Well, hopefully it's an exec team.
Yeah.
Let's find out, because otherwise I wouldn't know what to do. Because
exactly, and that's a common thing. So all you're doing with this type of filter is you're effectively putting like a post-it note on the message as it comes in. It's a bit like somebody stamping the incoming mail, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of exactly, it's the digital version of that, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at another example. What you could do is with your labels down the left-hand side, there's a few things you can do there just to tidy those up. If you hover over the exec team label, click on the way down arrow next to the down triangle.
Yeah.
You've got some options in here which are interesting to explore. Some of these labels are just cluttering your visual space.
Yeah.
This one probably is important because these guys are important, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they have their moments.
So one of the things that I do is if I don't want my labels list to be too cluttered and busy, I choose show if unread or hide in the label list, which is the first section just below the label color.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So if you choose show if unread,
here
it disappears.
Okay.
If one of those guys were to email you now, then that label will pop up again.
Right. Okay.
And it will also give you a count for the number of unread messages in that label list.
Right.
And
So someone like me who tends to read them and then assign them to their label, the only unread ones I have tend to be in my inbox itself.
I see. Yep.
So
situation, go into Wendy's message, the third one down.
Yeah.
So this is about an RTLB.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of options for how you can deal with these.
Yeah.
See how it's already labeled with exec team?
Yep.
Just above that, to the left of the more button, label tool. So click on that.
Looks like a rocket ship.
Now, if you type RTLB in there, it's possible that you might have an RTLB label already. That was through your label list.
Oh, okay. I think we call it Slinko, yeah.
Okay. So you can give it an additional label, but the next one over to the left of the label one is move. And this is where you can file it manually when you're inside a message.
Okay. So if I click that, it tells me I can move it to wherever. Yeah.
Yeah, and that will take it out of your inbox and plonk it into that label category only.
Okay.
You can also.
You go, Emma.
I was just going to say you can also that so when you've got any email that comes in with RTLB in the body of the message, that will automatically also add that Slinko label.
Right. Okay.
So you can 3 or 4 labels automatically attaching to one email. What's in the of the email, not just who it's coming from.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
So create a filter here, John, and let's look at how to do that. So this message from Wendy. Go to more.
Yep. Create filter. Filter messages. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Now you'll notice here before we were looking at filters from an individual.
Yep.
You can also filter things if you're sending to a particular individual. That's really useful if you're sending emails to NovaPay.
Yeah.
In this case, it's got has the words and it's referencing that mailing list that through the group for the exec team. So I would delete that.
Yep.
And if you typed in the words RTLB in capitals, it will pick up.
Right.
Okay, so click create.
Yep.
Now that will search through and go and apply the label just for argument's sake.
Could be that Slinko thing.
Yeah.
Inco issue, that one there, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they always going to be important? You probably don't want these ones to go to spam, I'm guessing.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. Whether it's important is debatable. But
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah.
Now, if you click apply the filter to the matching conversations, that will search through all of your mail, look for anything with RTLB in it, and pop it into that label category.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and then create the filter.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's another type of filter that's probably the second most common one, and that's filtering anything from a particular organisation.
Yeah.
So go back to your inbox, and I'm going to send you an email.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a NovaPay one. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do that? Why don't we do that one? So if you tick next to NovaPay to select that message.
Yeah.
And Anna, do you want to talk us through how to create the filter?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, you know what? I think because you're sharing the computer, can we get maybe Emma? Could you do that?
Yeah, I'm just going to ring me back on mine and I'll jump back on.
So if you go more to create filter, does it? No, it has to be open, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. No.
No, it doesn't. No, that's right. So if you create a filter, filter messages, info at NovaPay, delete the info in asterisks.
Yeah.
So go asterisk at NovaPay.
Asterisk, okay. And then at.
So put your in your at. So what this is going to do is any email that you get from NovaPay, whether it's support or info, any, so then you just go through to your create filter with a search.
Okay. Right. So. Right.
Do you have a NovaPay label?
Yep. And I can just about find it. Payroll dash NovaPay. Payroll NovaPay 18 on that.
There you go.
And don't spam it.
Maybe you always might.
And also apply to matching conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Is it always or never important maybe for that, John?
Well, it's payroll, and I suppose it's always important.
That's it.
Oh, it's NovaPay. Okay.
Yeah. It's Friday. We should use this as an example on a Friday. I don't want to cause anyone.
The whole payroll system's going to break down now. That's all right. I'm going to hit create filter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if nobody gets paid next week, it's your problem.
Yeah. So, John, here's a bit of homework for you and for you too, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
You will have messages from organisations like NZPF, PI, STA, your Kahuiako people.
Oh, yeah.
And there'll be maybe public health nurses or, the bus company. You might not get the bus company ones, John, but there'll be other organisations that email you regularly. I'd like you to create a couple of filters for different organisations. So maybe one for different PLD organisations. So you could create one for learning architects.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way they're automatically classified as they come in.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can do that. I'll see if Anna can.
I'm sure you will.
Good one. Hey, do you want to stop sharing your screen there, John?
Yep, I sure do.
Just before we look at wrapping up, I just want to remind everybody, I'm just going to share my screen.
Yep.
Tell me if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
I can see, yep.
Okay, so inside the community for everyone, there is that post inside Tame and Train Your Email.
Yeah.
Called the 5 top email filters and how to automate your inbox. 5 types of email filters to automate your inbox. Okay, so that there gives you a little reminder of how to make a filter for a separate individual person.
Yeah.
okay, with the most common steps. Now, these steps change based on who it is, okay?
Yeah.
So this is not a cover-all type situation, but this is the most common one that I've seen people need.
Right.
Okay. And you can see here that it just repeats itself. So you can't pause it because it's an animation. So you just have to watch it again a bit. And then that will just help you remember those steps. Generally, there are 4 steps when you're creating a filter.
Yep.
Okay. And in addition to that, linked off this forum post is this document here with the same animation and print steps if people were really wanted to print it out, which, you know, let's save the trees.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
Okay. So I will be turning this into a archive for everyone.
Right.
And it will be inside the members community. I'm thinking of making an additional section called member hangouts so that it just grows over time for people, which they can refer to more easily. So it will probably end up in the site, and you could tell me differently if you want it somewhere different, actually. It's probably going to end up under the resource library.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Maybe it might even end up under great tutorials, but it might be its own as well. Okay, so that's where this video will end up for people. Okay, so it's going to be under the resource library. Well done.
Need to add is shared labels in Gmail.
What's that?
Have you done? Have you looked at? I think you should put on here is about shared labels in Gmail.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I think
because they are brilliant.
Yeah, that's probably another topic because you would want to go right into it, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done, guys.
Not bad.
Get your filters set up individually first, okay? Yeah. Good one.
I'll make sure Anna does that too.
Okay. I'm going to stop the broadcast now.